Hey gang, it's Riley down here in the KelTec booth at SHOT Show 2022, and I'm here with my friend Chad.
What's up, brother?
Chad
It's good
Enos,
to see you again.
man. Yeah, absolutely. It's been too long, brother.
It's been 2 years?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I see you all the time here.
Yes.
Which is nice.
And I see you on social media.
Yeah, so I can pull my phone out if I want to see Riley.
Riding your choppers and whatnot. Yeah, so anyway, guys, we're here to talk about a new product from KelTec. Obviously, we're holding them here. This was exciting to me because I didn't hear about it. I didn't expect it. I guess Chad wanted it to be a surprise, so I was surprised.
Okay, well, the reason I wanted to be a surprise is because I didn't know about it either. I literally had to get a cheat sheet, print one out right as I was coming to the airport, and read up on this pistol because I had no idea we were going to show it.
Wow.
Yeah, so if I stumble through some of the features a little bit, bear with me. This is brand new, as new to me as it is to you.
So somebody between design and engineering and marketing, communicating.
Last minute call. Yeah, George actually didn't really want to show it, and then on the production side back home, they got to a point a little faster than they thought they would. So they're like, okay, yeah, well, you can actually show it now. So it was really kind of a surprise to everybody.
That's awesome. So we have the P15.
Yep.
And what's interesting right off the bat is this is a polymer framed model, and that's a metal framed model, an aluminum frame, correct?
Aluminum frame with wood grips.
Yeah.
And I've been hit up by several different companies so far at SHOT Show. I want to make your grips for you, G10s, and they're like talking about everything. So you're going to see a whole bunch of variations for the grip option. Yeah.
That's really cool. So again, totally surprised. It wasn't until Monday, Industry Day, that you mentioned, hey, we're going to have something new and cool on the show floor. And bam, here it is. So tell us about the P15. Like, what are the key features? And maybe if you can speak to it a little bit, I don't know. Maybe George could. But why? Why? You know, like maybe why some of the designs?
I have the answer for that as well.
Okay, cool.
So P15 is chambered in 9mm. Start with there. It's got a 4-inch barrel, so it's quintessential carry option. A couple of new things for us is striker fire. So we've never done a striker fire pistol before, so weren't really sure how to do it. They figured it out. It's got a pretty decent trigger in it. It's not a competition trigger, it's the kind of stuff we're used to, but it's got a really good concealed carry pistol trigger in it. Breaks about at 5 pounds.
It feels lighter than that, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Like
but
it's kind of deceiving in that way.
Yeah, it pulls at 5 pounds. The reset's it's a pretty long reset, so don't get too excited thinking you're gonna get some killer reset in the gun. But again, it's our first striker fired attempt, so not bad for what it is, but we're not going to try to oversell it to you guys. So, and I know there's a lot of people that are really worried about triggers, but again, concealed carry gun, shoots really smooth, triggers really nice, breaks really nice. So you get some rounds on it, you'll like it. Another great thing about us is about this pistol is first for us is that it's California compliant. So it's got all the safety features that you would need in California. It will ship with 2 10-round magazines, as opposed to us in free states. You'll get a 15-round magazine plus a 12-round magazine with it. So
this is a 15 here, correct?
That is the 15.
Slightly extended base plate.
Yeah, and so that base plate is also patented as well. So it's an interesting design. And these are actually, if you got some real KelTec fans that are watching, you'll recognize the magazines. Those are P11 magazines, which are also Smith & Wesson 59 series mags, made by Metgar. Great quality magazines. So can't go wrong there. The mag release is ambi. Well, it's not ambi. You can switch it from one side to the other.
So I have a left-handed model here. Is that a righty?
This is a righty here.
Yep. Cool.
Other than that, there's no ambidextrous features because all the safety features are internal. Speaking of safety features, it's got a grip safety. I know that everybody so far on social media is like, grip safety, they ruined it for me, Fear not. Because if you live in a free state, you can actually turn all the safety features off on the P15. And there's a nice little, we'll call it a dial. There's a little dial in here. There's 3 settings. You can turn them all off. You can do a hybrid where you still have your magazine disconnect engaged, or you can just turn them all off. So you can have them all on, you can have them all off, or you can have your magazine.
And when you turn off the grip safety, like, it sucks in.
It actually pulls the lever in.
Yeah. So it's as if it's not there.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yep. Cool.
So that's a pretty nice feature. I was really excited to hear about that because I'm not a big fan of grip safeties either. But that said, I've never had a problem with a grip safety.
And that would be part of the making it California compliant?
Correct.
Because you had to have a manual safety of some kind, right?
Correct.
And then the magazine disconnect safety.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Great features. Let's go over those a little bit. So it comes with tritium night sights on both models. And you also get your high-vis fiber optic tube in the front, for well-lit situations if you're outside. Which is really cool. High-vis worked with us to make sure that we could get those on there and make them affordable, and we'll talk about price of these things here in a minute.
Yeah.
But it's also, the P15, both models are optics ready. And the cool thing about this is there's no plate involved, so what we're gonna do is just build this rear cover specific for whatever optic that you have. So you have a whole bunch of options to choose from. Obviously, you can't put like some 10 ounce like tube optic on there, but any reasonable reflex sight by Trijicon, Vortex, any of those companies, you'll be able to mount a dot to this pistol. So
does one obtain, I guess, one of those, you called it a cover. Like, tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so this rear cover here just basically covers up the internals of the firing mechanism. And so since we manufacture that, we can build it to whatever specs is needed to mount the actual dot that your particular dot that will go on here. So it's just basically screw pattern changes.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
Yeah.
And then, and I imagine KelTec will have those available for like
Correct.
you contact you can order it, that kind of thing.
Yeah, we'll probably just do them direct on our website as an accessory instead of going through distributors or whatever. So
Gotcha. And what we see here is the RMSC optic, correct?
Yep.
Which is, so this would work with your Romeo Zero, your 507, 407K.
There's several,
Yeah, so you can unscrew this and stick one of those others on just
exactly.
easily.
And a lot of the other ones are also cross compatible too. So
interesting.
Yeah,
very cool.
Should be able to put just about anything on this.
And it's a pretty, this would be, I'd call it a mid-sized-ish gun. It's a bit on the smaller side. It's I don't know, P365 XL sized.
Yeah. So as far as we know,
it's a nice size. It's a nice shape.
As far as we know, it's the polymer version is the smallest, lightest double stack 9mm on the market so far. So
yeah, and and I agree with that for sure. On the lightness, the weight side of it for sure. Nice thin profile as you can see there, right? But still managing. I mean, I was actually kind of surprised when I pulled out the magazine. That when I first looked at it, I was like, "Oh, 15 rounds, dang!"
It almost looks like now I'm looking at the magazine. It almost looks like it doesn't even fit in that grip.
Agreed.
But
yeah,
it does.
Agreed. So small, lightweight, striker-fired gun, first from KelTec. We've got, of course, slide lock here or stop. We talked about the grip safety, magazine disconnect safety. The trigger. Now this is kind of a little bit of a different thing, at least amongst your pistols. This is an aluminum trigger, right? A machined trigger as opposed to a molded trigger or something like that. Yep. So that's cool to see. The frame on this one, you went with a machined aluminum frame.
Correct.
Also another interesting choice. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so George really wanted this. George is Swedish. Came up with European pistols his whole life, and this does have a very European feel to it. So with that in mind, one of our engineers, Joe, is a really bright guy. He's a competitive shooter as well. We like to shoot the 2011s. We like our steel and aluminum frame guns. So he was able to give some input and suggested that we do something that we could add grips to, wood grips to.
Yeah.
And obviously that lends itself to having an aluminum frame. So that's where that whole idea came from. George signed off on it. Joe designed it not even a year ago and had a working prototype within just a couple of months. It worked really well, and it really just is that simple of a story. Like let's do it because we can. And so we did. Initially, the P15 was just going to be, a polymer version. So the reason for the P15 we talked about. The reason for it is we discontinued the P11, which is an ancient pistol. Right. That was our actual first design. So we discontinued that. We also have unofficially discontinued the PF9. So this will be the replacement for both of those pistols. And finally, stepping into modern handgun territory, striker fire and all the bells and whistles that we just mentioned. So out with the old, in with the new P15.
Yeah, nice choice on the serrations here. I particularly like these front ones. Like this is.
I guess
this
where that
nice
came from.
Is that your suggestion?
No, that was Joe's. Well, it was our. For those that don't know, we have a shooting team, KelTec's shooting team, and again, we like all the tactical, cool stuff. George is old school. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Obviously, he's made some incredible designs for us. But yeah, just all these little features like that, come from us just really being into training and shooting competitively and all that. So we added some of that stuff in, our own sort of flair to it.
Yeah. One final thing we haven't really touched on is the price point.
Yep. Yeah. So price point on this is incredible. $425 MSRP.
And on the polymer model.
On the polymer model, $795 for the all metal version. So not bad, but people are gonna be like, wow, almost $800 for a KelTec. I understand, but you really have to touch and feel and shoot this thing, to understand it. And again, keep in mind that's MSRP. Over time, that's not gun shop prices. Obviously, it'd be a lot lower than that.
Well, I think it's a very aggressive price for considering the marketplace on a gun with the features, capacity, size, all of that of this one here. So on the polymer side, and again, really really cool to see you guys come out with a new approach on your handgun lines with the aluminum frame model. And I think the styling is kind of cool. It's we got some kind of modern looks on the top end with some very classic looks on the bottom.
I've read probably 10 comments today that said it looks like a modern Makarov.
Yeah.
And some guy said it kind of even looks like an effed up Makarov, whatever, with smiley face, and he said, I gotta have it, So just really positive responses with it. And then a lot of people are like, oh, that thing's disgusting, I'll take two. It's great. But when I look at it like that, I'm like, yeah, it kind of does look like we're a high power, kind of has that sort of feel to it. So just by default, those things happen. But they are very, smooth shooting. It's fun. I mean, I actually want to probably carry and compete with the metal version.
I'd like to see you compete with that.
Yeah, like in maybe. I'm not a fan of IDPA, but this might get me into it. You know what I mean?
Got it.
So.
Oh, very good. I did notice just worth pointing out that if you're looking for an accessory rail, the polymer version is going to be where that's at, whereas the aluminum is not.
Yeah. More of a classic styling.
Yep. Very good. Anything else?
That's about it. I think we covered just about everything. If we didn't cover
everything. When are they going to be available?
Oh, availability. Yes, good point. We are manufacturing these as we speak. So that's why we're showing them. So production's up and running, everything's going. We will be shipping these out probably next week in the limited batches, 200 to 300 a week, and then we'll get up to 500, and then by the end of second quarter will be full production on both models.
Okay.
Yep. So they'll be going out
look
to.
for them soon.
Yeah, very soon. Yep.
Excellent. Chad, thanks for introducing to us the P15.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Of course, anytime.
Good luck with everything at KelTec, guys. Make sure to check out KelTec. Remind us, what's the web address?
KelTecWeapons.com.
Yep. Okay, cool. Making sure I got that right. And make sure to follow KelTec at their various social media, Instagram, Facebook, etc.
YouTube.
And continue following us here on YouTube as well with more coverage from SHOT Show 2022.